So we're back with a second review for the day. I still got one more to go. But yes, guys, we're working. The grind never stops, as you already know. But before we get into this review, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As you already know, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So be sure to join the family. Without further ado, let's get into this review. So as you know, Love is Blind Season 9 has dropped today on Netflix. And I was actually like debating if I was going to review this season because it's literally been back to back to, guys, I barely had time to breathe. Okay? When it comes to like reviewing shows and stuff like that, y'all know I got the tea, I got the gossip, I got the reviews, I got all that kind of good stuff, all that kind of content coming for you guys. But in terms of like reviewing TV shows, it takes a lot more out of me than just making a 3-minute TikTok or a 15-second TikTok or a minute TikTok. Like, these videos take a lot more energy out of me. So like, I was really like battling myself in my head whether I was like, am I going to actually review this season of Love is Blind? Like, Love is Blind UK is like, it was just recent. Like, you guys could actually miss a season, but I was like, you know what? I'm off work this week. I have some free time, even though I've got stuff going on, but I have some free time. So I said, we're going to make do with what to do. But just know, and this is like a kind of disclaimer, if I do tend to slow down with the Love is Blind reviews, that is because I'm still reviewing Love Island games. And also, I'm reviewing Big Brother as well. So literally after this, it's 8 o'clock now, Big Brother, and then I'll be back again for another review. So it's literally none. And plus I woke up late today as well because I had stuff going on yesterday. So yes, yeah, let's just get into it. So the episode starts off with Madison is basically explaining her reason as to why she came onto the show. And she's saying basically eventually she could actually go blind. Her diagnosis is basically, I can't remember the actual name of it, but she could potentially go blind. So like, this experiment is like really important to her. Dylan said that he's only ever watched 2 TV shows in his life and he's 30 years of age. Dylan, what have you been doing? I understand that I do get that TV is not for everybody. Like, not when sometimes like I've asked people, what do you do in your spare time? Or I play video games, or I like to read, or I like to go for walks, or I like to work out. Like, people like to do different things. I totally understand that, but you're 30 and you've only watched 2 TV shows? So I didn't quite catch the lady's name because it was one of them quick scenes, but the lady that he was talking to, she said that's going to be a bit of a problem because I'm pretty sure she likes to watch her TV. So I'm pretty sure when it's with your partner, you can try and like get into things, because like, and I'm always going to shout out my ex for this. Yeah, this is just a side note, but shout out to my ex. He actually got me into Love Island. So if it wasn't for him, you guys would not be seeing me reviewing Love Island. It's actually quite funny how life works. It's actually, actually shout out to my ex, yeah? Shout out to my ex. Like, I give credit where credit's due. If it wasn't for him getting me into love, because I never used to watch reality TV, period. Exactly. I never used to watch reality TV at all. Like, I really used to tell people when they used to try and get me to watch Love Island, I'm not watching that show. It's a waste of my time. That was my exact response. I said, I'm not watching that rubbish. Come look at me now, years later. So it's funny how life can work. It's really funny how life can work. So yeah, when you're with your partner can open you up to a whole new world. So yeah, literally. We then get to Patrick and Casey, and she likes sporting events, and so does Patrick, so they have that in common. Her sister sings in Korean, which is quite interesting. And she grew up as a Mormon. Is that what they call Mormon? I think I might have misheard it, but please do correct me in the comment section if I am saying it wrong. But she doesn't really follow it anymore. And then we get to Patrick and Anna. When it comes to ethnicity, they both have only dated white men and women. I feel like it depends like where you grew up as well, and like where you're actually from. So for example, they're saying that, oh, growing up in like living in Colorado, it's very hard to date someone who is non-white or who is a different ethnic background, because it's not very diverse. As for here in London, or if you go to somewhere like New York, New Jersey, it's a bit more diverse, okay? It's like a lot more different ethnicities, a bit more to dip your foot into the pond, you understand? So, yeah, I do, and there's nothing, I don't know, there does seem to be a conversation of like people that are, if they're only dating one race, it's like it's a big problem and people try to make a problem out of it. I've always said this, it should never be a problem if someone just dates one race, but if you start bashing your own and disrespecting your own in the process, or disrespecting like another ethnic background, that's when it becomes a problem, because it's like, why do you need to do that? There's no reason for you to do that. Patrick is saying that he got adopted by his stepdad and that he kept his biological father's name. We then get to Blake and Anna. They both aren't religious, and Anna was literally just checking to make sure that Blake wasn't homophobic or racist. And I think that's very, very important when going to date someone in this day and age. You got to make sure your partner, for me personally, my partner has to be religious. That's non-negotiable. Like in the past, I've tried dating people that are just not religious, and respectfully, it just doesn't work out for me. We don't align. The way you think and the way I live, the way you live your life, and the way I live my life is just two completely different ways. Certain things that I may say, and when I say, oh, like for certain small things, thanks be to God, or thank you God, and then someone might say, oh, it wasn't down to God, it was just it was, and then it's like little comments like that would irk me, because it's like, okay, now it's you're kind of crossing a line, because if I'm saying thanks be to God, just accept that. But obviously for people, some people believe in science, some people, and I respect everyone's beliefs. I'm a person like, you don't have to believe in God, but you're just not going to be dating me, or you're not going to be going out with me. I've tried that, doesn't work. I tried to have an open mind to that, doesn't work. So yeah, my partner has to be like, you have to be Christian Catholic. There's no kind of debate in that. There's actually no debate in that when it comes to that. And secondly, in terms of like, well, I'm gay, so the homophobic part can kick up. Well, actually, you get gay men who are transphobic, and you still get gay men who have internalized homophobia. So actually, no, I do take that comment back. Actually, you get gay men who still are homophobic. They have internalized homophobia, and they are transphobic. So like, and you get gay men who are racist too. So yeah, me personally, if you don't have the right morals, I can't F with you, because it's like, I respect everybody for who they are. So if you can't do the same, kick rocks and move on. Simple. We then get to Blake and Megan W, aka Sparkly Meg. I believe that's her nickname. Blake prioritized his career in his 20s, and that was the same as Megan W. I believe they're probably, this is why they're both probably very successful, because they've really prioritized their careers. I do believe, like, when people are younger, they tend to work hard. Like, I especially a lot of peers my age that I've kind of spoken to, who have that kind of drive and ambition where they want to retire by the age of 40. Like, that's like some people's goal. Like by 40, they want to stop working, right? A lot of people work hard now, so then later down the line, they can retire early and do whatever they want to do. Because when you come to think about it, in the UK anyway, I'm not sure about the USA, but in the UK, the retirement age is creeping up year by year. So people are not trying to work till their death, quite frankly. So people are doing what they need to do in order to retire early for themselves. So they can retire early when they have enough money here. If they need money, they could dip into that, or they could dip into that's what people are trying to do. And I highly recommend people do that. I highly recommend you have a plan for yourself. You invest your money, you use your money correctly, the money that you're making from your 9 to 5 or whatever it is, whatever career path that you're doing. Whether if you still live at home, even better, save, invest, do what you need to do in order to make sure when you reach a certain age, you can say to yourself, you know what, I've worked for a good few years. I no longer need to work because I've made more than enough. You're financially comfortable. That should be your goal. If you want to work 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, so be it. That's on you. That's on you. Me anyway. I'm not gonna talk. This is not about me, but yeah. Mike and Megan W. Megan W is saying that she is a perfectionist and she believes in traditional gender roles. So, for example, the woman does the cooking, the woman does the cleaning. You know, she looks after the children. You know, and the dad, not the dad, the man goes out, does the work. But she's saying obviously she's a successful woman and she has her own business, so it's not gonna be a thing where she's not gonna be a stay-at-home mom. But in terms of like the man to want to protect his woman, wants to be the breadwinner and stuff, that type of stuff. And I'm not sure why people do this. I can please someone tell me in the comment section why people do this. Why do people play these silly, childish games when it comes to age? If I'm asking you how old you are, why do you say guess or I'm not going to tell you? I promise you, like, I don't have patience for it. And some of y'all are better than me because I don't have patience for that. I just don't. Like, I honestly don't. And I don't get why people do it. I don't have time for the games. If I wanted to play games with you, like I've said in other reviews, I will turn on the PlayStation, I will turn on the Switch, or I'll get a board game out and we'll play some games. I'll get the deck of cards and we'll play. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to get to know you. So why are you holding out your age? I think stuff like that is sus. Sorry. Because then it comes to me like, are you going to lie to me about your age? Like, seriously, why are you holding that shit out? Because people be lying about their age out here. We then get to Jordan and Megan W. Jordan is a single dad and his son is 5 years old. And he said he got snipped. I'm not sure what that means. Someone fill me in. I would look on Google, but I quite frankly don't have the time. I'm actually trying to do this review. So if it seems like I am rushing, I do apologize. I literally have to edit this, then prepare for Big Brother. So I'm trying to do this all in time. I'm trying to watch Big Brother live with everybody else so I can live tweet as well. Their aesthetics are quite opposite. Like, basically their lifestyles are quite opposite. And me personally, between Jordan and Megan W, I'm not feeling the vibe. That's what I wrote down here. The women think that Mike is a playboy. I don't get that vibe. But then sometimes I'm not really a good judge of character, so I don't know. We then get to Anton and Ali. Ali got sick of correcting people about her name, so that's why she just shortened her name to Ali. I do get her because people normally assume that my name is Tariq or Tyreek or Tarek. Those are the three. People rarely go Tariq unless I make a video and I say my name is Tariq. That's how people will know my pronunciation, but people automatically assume my name is Tariq. So at this point in time, I just give up correcting people. Unless people ask, oh, is that how you pronounce your name? And I'm like, yeah, my name. I'm like, no, sorry, my name is actually Tariq. But I give up correcting people. Even with like an old set of friends that I used to have, right? When I told them, they were calling me Tariq, and I just said, okay, cool, rock with it. And then one of my other friends was like, oh, why are you not correcting them on your name? I said, it's gotten to the stage where I'm tired of correcting people. And he's like, no, you should correct people. I'm like, I hear it, but I'll be correcting people all the time. And I've got to the stage where I'm tired. So, that's why I normally tell people, just call me T. To make everything easy, you could just call me T. Because my dad calls me, even though my dad knows how to say my name. My dad calls me T. My mom calls me T. Like, close people to me call me T or they call me T. But, like, even when I did correct certain people, it took them a while to, like, call me by my proper name. And I'm just like, okay. Like, you've been corrected and you're still calling me whatever you want to call me. Go crazy, I guess. But yeah, that's why I just gave up correcting people. So I do get I actually get where she's coming from. In Brazil, they don't do like middle names. In Russia, your father's name becomes your middle name. Didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Anton was talking about how his family, because I think like one side of his family is Russian and the other side is Ukraine. And he's like torn between because obviously you got one side and the other. It is Russia. Yeah, it is. I had to almost think like that is wild. Oh my God, I didn't even deep it. Because I'm talking about it and I'm picturing, Ukraine. Oh, that must be, yeah, so he's literally torn in the mid. That is so crazy. Wow, that is so crazy. Wow. Um, Ali wants their children to be inspired by their love and them being together. Obviously, seeing that mommy and daddy have been together, had these amazing children and stuff, like the kind of ones you see in fairy tales. Not that I'm saying that it can't happen, because it can happen. But in this day and age, people be having, I don't like using this term, actually, mothers of the children or fathers of the children, and then have been with different other women or different other men. So it's like, yeah, they want to be a unit. Anton has really great family morals from what I'm hearing. Very, very great family morals. Ali feels Anton pushes his feelings down and handles things on his own. It's never a good idea to do that. I believe it. You do have to try and be open to some extent when you first meet someone. I'm not saying open your walls or let down your guard completely, but you do have to be open to some extent. And them two have a really lovely vibe. I get that feeling. I get. We then get to Edmund and I'm gonna call her KB. KB. Edmund and KB. Because I can't pronounce the name, and I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'll just say KB. He's looking for like a non-traditional marriage, and so is KB. So like she and I look, she's like a 50-50 type of woman, and I love that. I love when women say they're 50-50. Because I'm sorry, like, nothing wrong with the traditional type of way. There's nothing wrong with it, yeah. But those people that are hell bent, like you get some women, right, that's come and say, oh, as a woman you shouldn't be paying for nothing. This, that, and the, if the woman wants to do that for her man's, okay, and the man is acceptive of that, that ain't none of your business. I feel like some people because just because your life is not a certain way, don't mean you need to go and project that onto other people. So I do like the fact that she is like that. And the thing is, she said it herself. She's got a degree. She's got all this education. She's got not all this education, all these qualifications, sorry. What's the point of having it wasted just to let a man come and like basically take over? No, she's going to put it to good use, and I love that for her. Edmund is a skater and he has traveled to London before. She runs a non-profit group home and he was in foster care, so there's that link between the two. He's saying that he was constantly in and out of foster care, and then he proceeds to say that his life was saved by his 5th grade teacher, and he started to get really emotional over this. He didn't go into detail of what actually happened. I think it's a bit too soon for that, but over time we might hear what actually happened and what the 5th grade teacher, what she actually saved him from. KB was really supportive while he was emotional. Like, Edmund actually broke down, and it's actually great to see a man cry and release his tears, because as men growing up, it's happened to me as well, and my mother never taught me that. My father didn't even teach me that, but it's like certain peers when you're around, stop crying for whims, crying for this, crying for that. It has a mental impact on you. So it's like to see him just cry and let it all out is amazing. And it actually shows that he's emotionally intelligent as well. Joe and Madison, we get to Joe and Madison. Madison goes to, her go-to date, is karaoke. And then it's like 7-Eleven to get some flaming hot Cheetos. I love me what's that drink from 7-Eleven? A Slurpee? Big Gulp. Nah, Big Gulp. I don't think I've ever had a Big Gulp, but it's like Slurpee. And then she was like to Joe, okay, you finish off the date. But Joe was actually struggling. Like, Joe was actually struggling to finish that day off. You could have said anything. Made it funny for all I know. But he was actually really struggling. I just found it hilarious, to be honest. We then go back to Ali and Anton, and they were both 8 years of age when they started to learn English. Ali is saying that she is in love with Anton. I've learned with this show, because even in the UK one, I was like, you lot are telling each other that you love each other really, really quickly. But I've learned with the show that due to the filming process, it's filmed it's filmed a year ago. So like, yeah, I've just learned to kind of just go with it. Now. Yeah, so Ali said that she loves Anton, and Anton says it back. And I love how Anton mentioned God, so he's a God-fearing man. I love that. And then Anton ends up proposing. So we have our first proposal of the season. Jordan and Sparkle Meg. He initially wrote her off due to the nickname Sparkle Meg. I don't think that's any reason to like write somebody off just because they have like a quirky nickname or a nickname that doesn't fit your critique or your criteria. But then as he got to know her more and more, he realized like how cool she actually is. His son was actually diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and Megan W's dad had passed away with type 1 diabetes as well. So obviously, as unfortunate as it is, they have that they can kind of, you know, support each other through, because the son has it and her father passed away from it. So like they can like support each other through that journey. And Megan W says, as much fun as they have with each other as they're talking, she just feels like their lifestyles don't match up. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. We then get to Mike and Megan W, and Mike is he started doing that nonsense about the guessing age thing, but then he eventually told his age. I believe he's 37, so I believe he's actually one of the oldest. Nothing wrong with that. And then he said that he had a hot tub and a sauna at his place, so he must be doing really well for himself. He must be doing really, really well for himself. And then lastly, we get to Blake and Megan W. Blake mentions how his dad passed away and he regrets not having like a closer relationship with him. He was pissed that they didn't have a better relationship. Megan W's parents were the same, like conflict avoidance. She was able to forgive her father even after his passing. Her father developed early on dementia. She said how it happened, how the way everything had panned out was probably the best possible outcome, because like putting the father into a home, it would have been much harder. And then towards the end of the episode, we see Ali and Anton. They are going to meet each other for the first time, but then obviously the episode cuts because it's going to be for episode 2. I just want to say this. I am going to be doing it daily. I'm not doing this review now and then another review later. No, it's going to be, you're going to get episode 1 today, episode 2 tomorrow, especially as there's no Love Island games tonight because it's a break on Wednesday. So you'll get it nice and early tomorrow. If I go to bed early today, you'll get a review nice and early tomorrow. Is there anything else I have to say? Yeah, I literally need to quickly edit this video and then get ready for Big Brother, and that will be my final video for today. But yeah, like I said earlier, this takes a lot out of you. You literally gotta have the energy, you gotta have the mental capacity to be doing this type of review and content all the time and taking notes, watching stuff. I do it. I love doing it because I enjoy it. I generally enjoy like watching stuff, taking it and talking about it. I'm a chatterbox, so I could chat for days. So that I generally enjoy doing this, so I don't mind. But it's like, yeah, it does get tiring. Like there's been days where I'm just like, especially during season 12 of Love, the recent season of Love Island UK. Yeah, it did get to a point where I was like, you know what? I had some off days where I didn't upload because I was like, I'm drained. So yeah, but like I did say at the start, if I do slow down with the reviews, I will try and give it like a pre-warning. If like I know there's a day I definitely can't do it. If you don't see me upload a review, it's because I'm busy. Like some things are going on. Yeah. But yeah, that is it for episode 1. If you guys have enjoyed this review, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As you already know, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so be sure to join the family. And I'll literally see you guys in a few hours if you watch Big Brother. See ya.